Welcome back into the cryptoverse. Today we're talking about the current situation in the marketplace. We're talking about Bitcoin, we're talking about what will be happening next, we're talking about meme coins yesterday. Just yesterday, I told you to accumulate, to get back into your assets. A range of assets out there are actually recovering at this stage. Mainly, this is actually connected with the increase of Trump odds in comparison to Harris, and essentially Bitcoin surging up and reversing slightly. I do expect us to reach new all-time high very soon. I'm not of these people who are saying, oh, until the end of the year. Probably like a lot of them, they're probably not giving the estimates that I'm giving because they understand that I gave them first. They do understand it. That's why they're saying like until the end of the year, maybe Q1, things like that. Nah. I do think in upcoming week we should be seeing new BTC all-time high. And this time I'm not expecting just to BTC go up and suck up the liquidity out of everything else. I am expecting a more bullish scenario on this marketplace. We will also discuss today the fact that first, most people are not in profits. Second, that essentially market makers and manipulators did very well, did this market dirty, right? They made sure a large amount of people are out of the assets, they lost, they're not in the market, they're not paying attention, and they will be invited being exit liquidity at the end of this party, right? Without further ado, let's actually start. Honey, I just bought more Ethereum. Someone and his wife, right? Very nice, but I do think that the Ethereum sentiment is actually at the bottoms. I do think that Ethereum should be reversing. Some people also say maybe it's going to happen Q1 2025. I'm always expecting things to essentially come sooner, right? Because I was telling you that in August we should be pumping. In September we should be pumping. In September we were pumping, but in August we were not. And my thought process was it's kind of too easy to pump everything around election because everyone expects that. At the same time, based on the prices of assets currently, people are scared shitless. Market is scared shitless. You are scared shitless because you are dumping the assets that are connected to this channel. You are dumping them currently, which is crazy to me. I'm just holding my things, and I'm not trying to be the smartest person out there. I'm just holding and know that, because like with each buy and sell, you make it internally for yourself. Like you learn how to buy and how to sell easier, and you kind of teach yourself how to trade. You teach yourself to get in and get out and constantly check out your positions and think, and this is just wrong type of behavior in the first place. You are losing. The more trades you are making, the harder chance you are losing, right? This is a very important thing to understand. Alex Becker is sure Trump will win. Bitcoin will become the reserve currency and go to $500,000. We holding retards shall inherit the earth and make fun in our bags illegal hate speech. Sideliners and ladies' hands will be deported. Gold investors sent to re-education centers soon. Interestingly, so kind of the cautious part of myself that I have is that there are just too many people bullish on Trump essentially winning. Although like I don't see how he's essentially losing. We have to talk, guys, about these things because kind of like our backs they are dependent on it, right? And like I still have quite a nice exposure to Kamala Harris coins out there, right? It seems like they pumped recently based on the news, based on the fact that the charts on poly market essentially went up. I think at a certain point of time, the probability of a win of Harris and Trump were at around 50-50. Then they corrected to the current scenario, which is around 66 and 33% in the favor of Trump, right? And yeah, currently it's all looking nice, but anyway, poly market may be a manipulated data. A bit of politics into your feed into this video as well. I've been a Democrat my entire life until today. Trump's America is more than Biden's America, and it's really not close. And here we are asked to make a decision between the two tomorrow. How it's even up for debate is beyond me. We were tricked into believing if we voted for Trump last election we were bad people. Not again, at least not for me. Sorry, I'm looking strictly at the facts. Fact is, inflation is at all-time highs. The US dollar has lost nearly 20% of its buying power in the last 4 years. I can't express how alarming and scary this is. Way more than that, way more than 20%. Like the prices are fucking going crazy in different parts of the world. And I was not in the US in the last 4 years. Well, in the last 4 years, I think I was a couple times, right? And the second time I was in the US, I was actually in the handcuffs on the side of the road with the 5 police cars around me. But it's a different story. There are reasons for the stories like this. There are also reasons I can't come back to my home country, but this is for another time, guys, right? And for the first time in US history, the next generation of Americans will most likely be worse off than we were. Illegal immigration has gotten so bad that even the people furthest on the left have conceded to being major issue. You have Harris in 2024 before GTA 6 talking about building a fucking wall at the southern border. You can't make this shit up. So essentially the guy is doing the huge ramp on the fact that he turned from Democrat to Republicans and things like that, and he's kind of like just persuading people to vote for Trump. And this is like this type of posts actually at the last day, they really can move the opinions, which is crazy if you think about that. Miles assuring Trump victory confirmed. Thank you, Kramer. Justin Jim Kramer says market action suggests traders expect a Kamala Harris win. So I do actually think that Crypto Kappa and Kramers, they're geniuses. And I do believe that what are they doing essentially is they're on purpose, always providing the opposite predictions, because it's a very, very easy market. Like with Crypto Kappa, everyone was talking and still talking about him with each and every prediction. That's like easiest marketing. Like there is no person with this amount of following that's been talked essentially like this. And Kramer is the same thing. And I think we should always just look at the opposite. And I think they're doing this on purpose. This is free marketing. This is a very, very nice, interesting and nice thing. Like Jim Cramer for many years saying the opposite things, and he's constantly receiving his piece of marketing. People are making fun of him, but opposite, like in his opposite opinion, he's always right. It's crazy. So I think they're actually hidden geniuses. Trump is going to send Bitcoin to 250,000K. So the reason I'm showing you this is because I want you to grasp the sentiment. Like people are too sure. And like obviously this is a little bit a different situation because we are not in the markets with this part of the thing. Well, maybe we are, because essentially the president of the US will have a huge impact on the crypto market, and specifically on crypto market, right? But the sentiment, like especially on X currently, the sentiment is quite bullish around Trump. I was not even expecting the sentiment to be this way because I was not checking out things for several days. But it's a very, very interesting thing out there. At the same time, it was a very, very interesting pump of Harris coins. Like Harris charts don't look bad, Trump charts don't look bad. Obviously, I would want Trump to win. And I think this is the right thing to happen in this reality currently. If you are selling your Bitcoin here, be sure to go out and stock up on XSL tampons in case a civil war breaks out tomorrow, because you are ginormous pussy. A very, very nice tweet from Alex Becker, just something I wanted to share. Bitcoin goes up. This is a very important point I wanted to share specifically. Bitcoin goes up, alts go down. Bitcoin goes down, alts go down. Bitcoin goes up again, alts go down. I don't know about you, but I'm not enjoying this bull run so far. And despite the fact some viewers of the channel might be very, very huge profits, depending on the time where you essentially joined, depending on the time, like how you're playing with the calls that I'm giving, because some of you, you're just making money off me. I'm just pumping things, you're just selling on my head all the time. You're just making money on me. And you didn't send me a dime. Like some of you made huge profit. You didn't send me a dime. Do you think you'll be able to keep this money? We'll see. You should be giving out something away if you're able to make money on the call. All right, but that's another thing. So essentially here, this is the experience that 95% plus of market participants are having currently at this stage. They all got psyoped that, yeah, we are buying this thing because retail will come and we will dump on retail, but this is just a giant psyop. And they were the retail that people dumped on. This is crazy to understand, right? Alts are still dead, like for 3 years already. It's crazy. Like even people who bought alts like a year ago in August at the absolute bottom, like some of them, they are still at the entry points. They're still not in profits or in very, very low profits. And crypto meme sector, like memecoin dominance is only about 5% currently, which means that out of all liquidity that is present in this market, only about 5 to 7% is in memecoins at this stage. There is a very low amount of people out there who are actually in profits from this cycle, which is crazy to understand, which is crazy to see. But we definitely see this 8-20 rule, but I would say it's more like even 91-1 rule, right? Because 1% of people who are in profits, they're crazy fucking profits. Like they made all of the money that people lost essentially. So someone was shilling some garbage memes, someone was essentially farming and dumping on his audience, something was doing something else, someone was just right with his picks and was just able to hold, right? But most people are not in profits currently at this stage. And experience for most people is crazy in this cycle, because most likely they were mid-curving memecoin narratives, and they just entered at the top, and they just got dumped on. And since then, everything is going down for 7 to 8 months. It's crazy good, like the way the market has been, essentially. It's like, imagine, we are holding altcoins for 2 years, BTC start to break out, BTC seem to have bull market, but you're holding alts because you're so smart and you think you will outperform. BTC outperforms for a year. At the same time, the only things that performs with BTC is meme coins. And when you're buying meme coins, you're probably buying the tops and you're getting dumped on. So for 3 years, you're pretty much robbed. And like even like this meme coin narrative for default alt holders, such a crazy thing. You think about that. It's crazy. It's crazy how actually good it is in order to rob money from people out there. And like, this is the only thing that's running besides BTC, so you're kind of forced to participate. Crazy if you think essentially about that. So I would say experience for crypto market was awful thus far. That's why for most people. That's why essentially we still have huge upside left. And some people like calling the top and things like that, they probably just made too much money. But yeah, some people, they definitely made a lot. Definitely made a lot. Usually they are somehow close to the house, to the market itself. So learn the market structure. They may be like an influencer, maybe they're the dev. So they're essentially close to the house. House is making money. In crypto, like the interesting thing is that with default gambling, like usually there's only one party that is making money. With crypto, you can be making money even if you're not the house. Right, so it's a very interesting thing. Although even with other like gambling ways and operations out there, you also can attract people to gamble. You also can have a ref link. So, but yeah, crypto is probably still more options. If it hits that line, I'll buy. A few moments later, chart looks awful, I'm not buying. So this is something I wanted to specifically talk on currently as well, because despite the fact I told you to buy yesterday, you probably did not. A range of assets already pumped from yesterday. There are still a bunch of assets that have this chart currently. And like maybe we will not buy the top of the range. You should be buying the bottom of the range currently in range of assets. Just buy the bottom of the range. This is the right thing to do. Because like if the asset is bottomed, like there's a very small risk downside. And there's infinite upside because things can pretty much go infinitely up. Obviously, if the intrinsic value of the meme coin, intrinsic value of the asset is great out there, right? So just look at the charts and buy bottomed out charts. Even like Momo, I was showing Momo on Sol, like it was at the top of the range, the 170 million. It was not able to break out. Currently, it's like down to the low of the range. Buy Momo and buy Momo beta assets. I was sharing some because your risk reward is crazy currently. Like there is almost no risk. Obviously, we can dump to zero, but almost no risk. Feeling extremely horny, so I think we pumped something that Mitch shared around 6 hours ago, and we actually pumped. Just added another 30k in Trump. Total bet is 210k MAGA. So this guy essentially recently made quite some money with meme coins. I think this is the first time that he made some money. So I just wanted to share this case because I kind of went on the rampage myself in spring and summer, and I lost quite a lot from it. So I think you have to be cautious once you're making the amounts of money that essentially are not comfortable to you, because reality will probably balance itself. And it will probably like essentially balance the things out for yourself with third. So just come down to take some profits, chill, get with the market and things like that. However, if Trump wins and if this guy will be right, this would be like crazy. He will like do like 2 to 3x or something. I'm kind of thinking like what has less risks? Just betting on Trump on poly market, because I'm not sure if he was betting on Trump on poly market, or if he just put all these funds into MAGA coin. But I think he just made a bet on poly market. So I'm just thinking like, what is the best risk reward play? Is this essentially just betting on poly market, or is this just buying Trump coins? I do believe that some Trump coins may have way larger upside, especially if you're acquiring at the bottoms. Way larger upside, 100%. Especially if you were buying at the bottoms in comparison to the poly market, because I think currently you're winning like 2.5x or something on these funds, and I do believe that if Trump loses, you essentially lose, that you lose right away. And if you're betting on the coin, you essentially would still be able to take out some leftovers, and like in some cases it might be like 50% plus of your initial back. And especially if you're buying and if you were buying at the bottoms, you should be in profits currently already. So you might have already taken your initials out and you're just holding the free back. So a very interesting overview currently. Like, I just don't understand why people still are trying to bet on poly markets. Although I'm talking to some crypto people as well, and they're sharing their opinion like, oh, like so many Trump coins, things like that, I should probably just bet on poly markets. So it's probably because it's simple, it's probably because it's easy, but because it's easy and simple, you're kind of losing the upside right there. You're kind of taking on more risks because it's like 50-50 scenario. It's crazy. Like, if he loses, you just lose your funds. And if he wins, there are definitely some coins out there that will appreciate in value greatly. There is a lower amount of coins that you can put 210k in and make like a 2 to 3x. But there are probably some coins that will have an option to multiply heavily, like from low amount of money, multiply even more than 400-500k as the sum if Trump wins and if this bet will be playing out. Or if you're betting like 1 million, 2 million bucks, yeah, there's probably like no coin out there that it's kind of interesting that like these prediction markets, they kind of took away this liquidity from meme coins, because if prediction markets were not invented, this liquidity would not be in the prediction markets, it would be meme coins. It would be like a natural bet to bet on meme coins. I kind of like the bet on meme coins still a bit more, but I do believe that with this type of bet, you essentially protected the downside connected with longevity. Because if you're buying Trump-related meme coin, even if he wins, what are the guarantees that it will essentially go up? What if people will just decide to dump right away after the election? I don't think so. I think some of the coins will go up after the election if he wins 100%. But in general, yeah, it's a very, very interesting question that with poly markets, kind of, I don't know. From one point of view, you're taking more risk. From other point of view, like if he wins, you just take your money and that's it. Like you're free to go. You're free to continue playing. This is something I kind of shared yesterday, and this is something I wanted to talk about today as well. The US is ready for a woman president. So I was thinking on this as well. Interestingly, this thought came to my mind yesterday, and we had a discussion with one of the analysts on the team about this a couple months back, where he said, do you understand why they put Harris against Trump? I said no. And he said, the reason is because any man would actually lose against Trump. Any man. This is like a losing bet right away. Because if you track the same election liquidity, I wanted to say, election base with men, Trump will win any man, 100%. Like there's no, and that's why I'm saying that like the only real cult out there is actually Trump. Trump coin, was it able to transform into a cult? I'm not sure, but Trump is definitely a real cult, 100%. His team was working and is working on turning his personality into a cult, right? So it's a very interesting situation right there. They specifically started with a woman to attract the audience that would not want to focus on Trump, that would not want to vote like for a man, right? And it's quite smart. Like it's a quite nice and smart thing to perform and to do if you're actually planning like. I think they were begging Michelle Obama to join, because like Michelle Obama would really be like a real fight. And some people are saying, and we're saying, that if she would have joined the election, she would be winning 100% against Trump. It's interesting that they still decided to stay with Harris. Very interesting situation. The US is ready for a woman president. There is no doubt. You only have to look as far as Hillary winning the popular vote. However, if Kamala is the first woman president, she may be the last. A very interesting thought. She's not the right woman for the job and has failed countless times at her job. She's a VP for 4 years. Like, I don't understand how people don't understand this. Like, she's a VP for 4 years. Do you like what is happening? No, you don't like. All right, then you probably do not vote for her. Trump was a president for 4 years. Currently, do you like things that were happening against, like, under Trump? You like them. All right, so you vote for the guy. Like, it's so easy. Like, you don't even have these like expectations. Like, you have to guess what policy will be there, what will be happening. Nah, you have all the results of work of these people. You can assess. It's kind of like both candidates are second terms. Like, so they're going for the second term. Just like Harris is just going from VP into president, right? So crazy to think about that. It's very, very simple choice if you think about that. If you like current things, you vote for Harris. If you don't like them and you like things as they were with Trump, you vote for Trump. Nothing to think about. If another woman is the first woman president, you probably get many women presidents. Who lets illegals and criminals in that Web3 and kill? Tulsi could have and should be the first woman president. I'm not sure who's he talking about, but yeah, the main thing is that a case is very, very interesting. It's a very, very interesting build out for the case. There probably can be a woman president, 100%. It's just that if this would be the woman president, there is a high chance we won't have woman president if election will stay, if election won't be cancelled, right? We probably won't want to have a woman president because she'll probably suck at this job because she sucked already, right? So this is something I went through already. Bullish Hester Pierce crypto mom seen as the top pick to replace Gensler for pro crypto SEC under Trump. So these are these type of news that are thrown like in the last second to kind of push people at the last second to vote for the person that producers of this news need them to vote, right? Interesting things like here and there, they kind of look familiar as well. Interesting. So yeah, like they like to finalize the crypto audience essentially overview and crypto audience vote as well. Crypto guys and their networks is in these men hands. I don't like the consensus on X. I don't like the bullishness on Trump. I don't like, because when X is essentially when crypto Twitter is agreeing on something, that's not good, man. That's usually not good, right? But there are powers above this at play, and let's hope that they essentially will be right. In 2 days, Bitcoin alts go full parabolic, like all because of the US elections. 2016, 2020, same story. Markets went wild. Not every coin will make it, but a few 10x's, 100x's, even 500x. Here are my 100x picks. So this is a very blatant statement. It's a very, very simple one, but I tend to agree with this actually. So this thing was shared on 4th of November. Like, this is something I told you previously, that I do think that all-time high should be 5th and 6th of November. Once we obviously are receiving the vote. Like I heard from the virtual bacon video that we might be hearing the final results on the time frame of 1 to 5 days till 5th of November, right? But people seem to still be bullish on 5th and 6th of November. So we're essentially waiting. I think things will become clear a little bit earlier in the process, right? So I honestly agree with this guy. In 2 days, BTC and alts will go full parabolic. Alts might go a bit later, but BTC, I don't think so. First election result of 2024. Dixville, Notch, New Hampshire, 2024 result, Trump 3, Harris 3. Interesting that the same kind of county, the same kind of state, I don't know what the fuck this is. 2020 results, Biden 5 votes, Trump 0 votes. 2016 results, Clinton 4 votes, Trump 2. So we can see that historically people were voting for Democrats, right? And right now they have a split, which is very, very bullish. Like the fact that this is highlighting the historical data, I would say this is the main value of this X post out there. The fact that this is highlighting the historical data out there. I tend to agree with some people on the marketplace that are saying that despite who will actually be winning, BTC is going to 100k plus, and we'll just have a different type of journey. It depends on Trump, it depends on Kama. My portfolio terribly wants Trump to win, despite the fact like I will lose quite a lot of money on my Harris positions that I have as a hedge, right? But I do think that kind of thinking like smart people, what they essentially did, they were buying Harris tokens as well. They understood that probably she's not winning, and they sold them into the recent pump, and maybe they repositioned it to some Trump coins, right? We'll see, because it's kind of like just betting on one side out there. Like my main bet, what I really would want to happen is for a range of election tokens to continue to run after the election. Like really have these mania out there with people just buying like just crazy things sending out there. Will there be a catalyst for this? Only with BTC going to all-time high. Well, this was my thesis for the whole last month, for the whole October. I'm the only person in the world who is sharing this with you. This was my thesis. And liquidity from these election coins should actually kick off the season of pepe, of bread, boys club, and things like that, and on blast as well. So this is my thesis for the whole last month. And yeah, it's very, very interesting to see this playing out, because if you would think about this, even currently, the probability of this happening, it's probably not very vivid in your eyes, in your mind currently, because in PvP scenario, in harsh PvP scenario, like some election coins, they will be around 100%. At the same time, will there be crazy mania? Like, will shitties and low camps run like crazy as well? If meta will be dying out, if it will be just strict PvP, I don't think so, right? However, if it will be mania, it will be new BTC all-time high. So do you understand what has happened? What I'm trying to communicate here is the fact that I positioned myself into coins expecting a breakout, which would happen for the first time in 8 months, new all-time high, in the meta that will be happening, that is positioned around the event, that is short-term and might be dying out. Do you understand the risk that I'm taking with positioning myself into this thing? Because we have to understand, if we are going to new BTC all-time high, and if the market is surging up, what is happening is most of assets on the marketplace, they are running up. They're just running up, everything is alright, and you kind of don't have to take on additional risks trying to play this election meta. But this is what I'm doing. This is what I did, and this is what I wanted to essentially do as well. And the question I have in my mind, will election meta actually survive for some days after the election? And will we have our crazy parabolic run? And will we essentially also capitalize on it? Following something direct fencer shirt, like, he has not the best reputation out there, right? But it's such a blatant statement. I just like it. And people I work with, they have the same type of, and personally I do think so as well, like sentiment. I was the only person, not the only person, I was the first person to call new BTC all-time high in October, and I was several $100s short. The market was several $100s short from BTC reaching all-time high. On one of my applications, it actually printed a new all-time high, right? So imagine this situation. We are going to new BTC all-time high, everything sense, and election meta is the first catalyst for liquidity. Like, you won't need anything else. You just need to be right once. But imagine the risk reward of the bet that I'm taking. It's crazy. Like, betting on the breakoutage in, like, for the first time in 8 months, betting for new all-time high, betting on election meta, betting on the fact that election meta will survive, and then betting on some coins that, because not all of the coins will essentially go up, right? This is a crazy bet if you think about that. But if this will be playing out, this would be damn fucking nice. So this is my overview for today. Hope you enjoyed this show. Let me know your feedback if you did like it, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Stay healthy and rich. Cheers.